Hey guys, we'll get started in just a second. AR, why don't you talk for a minute?
Betelgeuse, Betelgeuse, Betelgeuse. Okay.
Okay, lower you at hand. May, try talking.
Betelgeuse, 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 Betelgeuse.
What happens if you say it 4 times?
Well, I guess in my version he comes in reverse.
Oh, okay.
No, in your version, the guy shows up complaining about how you're saying it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that should be good. Let's go ahead and grab 30 seconds of silence starting now. Okay, that should be good. You guys both ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the shuffling to end. Welcome to the Will Podcast. We're here to entertain and inform about Digimon a little bit. I'm Mark, I run with the Will.
Mayor Pulver, Digimon System Restore.
And May from Lost in Translation Mon.
Slightly different show than we planned on doing originally.
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
a little less...
I still know what Kizuna happens in Kizuna.
Yeah, that's well. Let's go ahead and move to the first topic, which is coronavirus. And also, I should point out, we will not be doing spoilers. Same as last time. There are images. We won't talk about plot stuff. And if anyone fails, I would place my bet being on May.
Well, yeah, because I know very little. I'm still resisting the urge to hate spoilers. Not because of I really care that much, but because since everyone who knows what happens but hasn't seen it kind of hates it, and I don't want to have that mindset.
I'll be honest, and this includes you, May. I'm kind of judging all you guys for doing that.
For doing what?
For judging it based on non-contextual spoilers or from the novel. Because because here's the thing. Like, I remember being young and reading novels based on movies, and they tend to not quite be the experience of sitting there with the movie. So
they don't really capture it at all.
Yeah.
So
I've spoken to people who've seen the movie, and they've said that my impression from the novel was fairly correct, and I was like, oh, okay.
Because most of the people who've seen the movie really enjoyed it. Yeah. Everyone I know who's actually seen the movie, love the hell out of it, but everyone who's only going off of spoilers or the novel are like, it's got issues.
Yeah. I mean, I just don't like the plot elements that are used.
Yeah. But, again, we can't really get into that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, but I'll just say I don't like the plot elements, which is like, I don't think
I'm familiar with I've been spoiled on a couple things, so.
So how's everyone? How has everyone's last few weeks been?
Working from home is great. I just moved, so really, I get to be with my dog.
Yeah.
He's very happy.
It's been very difficult for me to make the adjustment to working from home.
Oh yes, I'm sure.
I should in case that isn't obvious. There's been no change for my work process.
Yeah, I was gonna say you work from home normally, don't you?
Yes. So there's been no change there.
I work like 6 blocks away from my house, so this really has almost no change to my regular routine.
That's not bad then.
No. I'm dealing with this really uncomfortably well.
I should also explain the title card image. In the note where I just had coronavirus, I just put a little thing just saying throw an image there and we'll decide one later, and Lost decided to grab one of James May looking foolish, and I just decided it's not really worth the effort to change.
I was making a push for Chronomon, you rejected it, and then Bandai came out with an actual Chronomon pun, and I feel like I've been
you haven't been vindicated at all. Because yours was for the ad image, and the main reason I didn't want to use it wasn't just that it slightly in bad taste, it was also attempting to get a single image of a character on on the ad card without looking odd is very difficult.
Mm.
So that was partially hedging just to not deal with the problem.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
copping out there.
Yeah, we have Coronamon showing up later.
That was a hell of an image, though.
Yeah.
They just went there. They're like, to hell with it. We're going there.
I would say we'll get into those later. So let's movie screening it's officially delayed. I'm calling it canceled because even if they're doing it, it's not in a timely manner where it's relevant right now. So as far as I'm concerned, it's canceled. Because it's not like we were there Wednesday night.
Yeah, I mean, my theater was one of the last holdouts.
Your theater and you were both being rather stubborn, I have to say.
Well, yeah, because if they were going to show it, I was going to go to it regardless. Yeah, I'm glad that they made the announcement though, because otherwise it would have been canceled literally the day of, because my state shut everything down that day.
But there was literally a point where you and me were talking. It's like 80% of the theaters in the country were closed down, and you're like, well, mine's still open. I'm going to go.
I mean, if they're going to show it, I'm going to see it.
It's like my gym had the same like fucking mentality of like, well, everyone's closing down, but we're not closing down. And then the next day, the government was like, oh, we're making all gyms close down. And then we just and everyone received an email saying, due to the decisions of the government, we are closing down. And it was literally like less than 24 hours later. It was hilarious. They're like, we're not closing down. Everyone just make sure you sit on like 2 machines apart, and we'll just clean your machine afterwards, and we'll practice social distancing. And then like they closed. It was funny.
Yeah.
I'm sad because I can't go to the gym though.
They canceled the Kizuna screening early last week, I think. And even then, I didn't get my refund till like last Saturday.
Yeah.
Oof.
Am I gonna have to call somebody?
Yeah, the fastest refunds were from Fandango and Adam.
Oh, mine is Fandango, and it still took a while.
That's maybe because the theater wasn't removing the listing, so it was still active.
That would be my guess, yeah.
Okay.
I was pretty sure you could still buy tickets for it even after they announced it was canceled.
Give us money, but you can't come.
AMC announced they were closing one night, and literally like 2 or 3 hours later, I had a refund.
Yeah, that's not what happened with me.
Yeah.
It took like 4 days.
Yeah, mine was rather shockingly quick. So we don't really need to worry about that trailer for the new show, do we? Because
I mean,
let's be honest. Were we actually expecting anything new? I don't think so.
Said for a long time we would have seen it already in some form.
Yeah, unless it was literally going to be, hey, we're getting it on April 5th. Yeah, that could have been the only thing that would have surprised us at all.
Yeah, if they had pulled the we're going to show you the first 5 minutes of the first episode or something, that would have been interesting.
No, see, it would have been the first 5 minutes of the 10th episode or something stupid like last time.
Oh God.
Yes. Yeah. So that was so dumb. But yeah, so I made
at least they should have given people in the theater a spoiler alert for that.
Yeah.
I appreciated it, but someone who's seeing it for the first time maybe wouldn't have.
Yeah. So then made a general thread on the forum based on people asking, and I put up suggestions for things to do, which at some point I should probably update those, as a few of those have actually expired by now, I think. And man, it's amazing how quickly Victor found Discord when he was bored, wasn't it? See, AR knows, because I've been talking to AR about it. It was like a month of almost pulling teeth trying to get a Discord out of Victor for the special, to the point that I believe me and AR had actually decided to give up on Victor showing up.
I was saying that, just forget it. Like, we've got enough.
Yeah.
Like
if
May was joining us for that, it would have been.
And then like
4 people already.
A lot of people.
And then like Wednesday night, Victor was like, "I'm bored. Let's do a 12-hour not charity live stream." And I'm like, "Hell no, I'm not doing a 12-hour."
Why not charity?
Yeah, do it for charity at least.
Because I believe the idea was he just wanted to get something and throw. Because doing charity on 10 seconds notice isn't really gonna work.
No.
Yeah. So it's basically how about we just talk about nothing until we don't want to anymore. and
while playing Desert Bus.
No, I've played Desert Bus. I have no want to ever do that again.
Why does that sound familiar? Have I played Desert Bus? That sounds really familiar.
It's from an unreleased Penn and Teller game, and the idea is that you're driving a bus through the desert, and it has one wheel slightly misaligned, so it's always drifting to the left, so you have to keep readjusting it, and if you ever go off the road, you have to tow truck grabs you, and you have to wait in real time for it to take you back.
Did Critical play that? I think Critical played that.
I have no idea.
It's a pretty popular charity event every year by somebody.
I think Critical just plays weird games and is attractive, and that's kind of what he does.
I have no idea. But yeah, so we did that. We may do that again. May popped up disappointed that she wasn't going to be able to show up for it.
Yeah, because I'm actually working from home, and I could have done that, but I had to take my car into the mechanic that morning.
Oh, that's bad timing.
By the time,
so I was like,
by the time May messaged me about that, I kind of went to myself, maybe I should have checked to see if May or AR wanted to do it. By then, it was too late to really check with AR because I think it was like Friday night or Saturday night.
I had a conflict. I had a board meeting. I had a board meeting for my convention that is still happening. Hopefully,
now that you say that, I'm wondering if I actually did ask you because I remember you saying
you did
that
ask
about
me. Yes.
Oh, okay, I did.
Yes,
I probably asked you right after May said she couldn't do it.
Oh, I'm second choice. Okay.
Well, no, May uninvited herself from something I had not asked because it hadn't come to mind.
Yeah.
Just do what I do and just assume that you're always invited. It's fine.
So we will see what comes up with Kizuna in the USA. I'm trying to decide if I still expect a screening at this point or not.
There's a question about that towards the end, so we'll swing back to that.
Yeah. So then there's the general Kizuna stuff, which Japanese box office was going rather well before the virus and still kind of went decently. At this point, it's the top standalone Digimon film.
Nice.
And it keeps expanding, which...
Yeah, the expansions keep...
Well, here's the thing, and this is where I think we've tried to clarify it in the past. It is officially a roadshow.
Oh, okay.
So it is officially one where theaters will swap in and out, and there will be expansions.
Okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah. I expected it's higher than it would have been since a number of bigger films were canceled and just getting it out in more boony type places.
Yeah, that meant... Okay.
Because one person who had traveled to see it actually said... that the update yesterday, it's actually in their hometown theater now. So they were going to go again.
Huh.
So we will see. So we're going to get that poster somehow, I'm sure, because I doubt they're going to let those go to waste.
Yeah, once the theater reopens, maybe I should just call them and say, hey, do you have a stack that you're not doing anything with right now?
Yeah. For those who didn't know, they had announced literally days before they had shuttered everything was that they were gonna have posters at it, which was Kizuna on one side and Survive on the other, and I mean I'm sure those will show up somewhere.
Victor's gonna end up with a stack of them that he's not gonna be able to get rid of on eBay.
Yes. In Australia, it got a PG rating. May was very excited about this at first until I pointed out what it probably was. It was rated the day before they did that screening at the festival, so it was probably that they had to get it rated to show it.
You know, I would have definitely flown down on a moment's notice for MadFest if I wasn't moving that exact day. I would have definitely flown down.
Yeah, that was funny. You were so happy, and then I remember the messages from you. You were so happy, then so upset, but still happy. It's like they had to pick that fucking day.
Yeah, if it was maybe a week later, I would have definitely, most certainly, flown down to Sydney to watch it. Even though I hated the fucking novel, I would have still watched it, because of course I would have.
Watch them reschedule Kizuna for a week. I'm at a convention or something.
And then the maybe big / odd / weird news is a dub clip was apparently shown. I say apparently because even the people I was talking to before have not said anything since. which was at the Middle East Film and Comic Con. At the Middle East Film and Comic, that's not as funny as it normally would be in the middle of a pandemic, May.
Oh fuck, you're right. Oops.
Yeah.
I was just trying to make it like a fucking 02 joke, but
yeah,
never mind.
I'm keeping all my normal death jokes to myself this once. At the Middle East,
which is good because I have had bronchitis lately.
Yeah.
Like it's the time where it's even scary to have a cough. Like you have a cough. Oh shit, I'm dying.
If AR,
I've had a cough for a long time, and the looks are.
Yeah, like God forbid you have to go to like get groceries and you just happen to cough or you happen to do something and everyone just like. I was at the gym a couple of weeks ago and I sneezed. I have sinusitis. It's not abnormal for me to sneeze, and I sneezed not everywhere, just like into like the crook of my arm. My dad sneezed because that's how you're meant to sneeze, and everybody fucking just split. It was just like, well, that's how I get rid of people. Apparently, I just have to.
That's how you maintain your 6 feet.
I'm told.
Just like fucking sneeze.
Yeah, I'm told that's happened to my dad a few times at the grocery store where he'll cough and then he will look around and just everyone's gone.
Yep.
So as I was saying,
anyway, so hypothetical Schrodinger's English dub.
Yeah, which we don't know if this would have been the quote unquote real dub, an Asian English dub, which is often done for that region, or if this would have been
God, can we please have the Tagalog dub again, please?
Yeah, I'm thinking Tagalog.
I would almost expect more a mock pilot dub where they dubbed the first 5 or 10 minutes, they showed the first 5, and this is like a sales thing. Because it's something, because it could have been dubbed last year just so they had something to show.
Yeah.
Even then, I'm hoping for Tagalog.
Yeah, that's like my second favorite dub after the Finnish dub, the original Finnish dub.
Yes.
Which is like so like
that racing team one or whatever it was called.
Yeah, the racing team,
team, which is the best studio name. Yes.
Yeah, it's the best. It's just like they're falling off a cliff.
And I forgot, a few title cards this time are auto-rotating, so we will see how that works out. So then we had a fun with, we've gotten a decent amount of Kizuna artwork. We have the clean profile art for various new Digimon from the movie. And Animedia put up not as much clean art as we'd like, but a decent amount. It's always nice to get the line art and everything.
Yeah. It was fun to look at.
Yeah, there's a lot more that we need in our book. Although I will admit...
I mean, it's going to be hard with an art book because there's not as much promotional images as there were for Try.
Yeah, although I will say...
Which did disappoint me for Kizuna. That was one thing I always liked with Try.
Because we got like we got that like sick art book after like the chapter 2 on, and that was pretty cool. And like, I love the design of the fucking phone. I just think that's fucking gnarly. I love it. I just love it. I love it. I love it.
Sure. Yeah. That's gonna be on. That's got to be on Redbubble by now.
Also, honestly, everyone designing and printing their own, I'm very disappointed in them because they are not relining the hole in the corner for the cameras.
Yeah.
They're just pasting in the design and then putting a hole where it is. It's like, no, actually like Photoshop the hole where it is on your phone and like slightly tweak it.
Yeah, that's not going to look as good on the Android, I suppose.
I just not necessarily because you could use that as
it doesn't.
I guess the fingerprint is a little bit higher up.
Yeah, it does not work as well.
Yeah. But I want to design on Animal Crossing so badly. It's fucking great.
Yeah, I will say for only 14 pages, they got in a lot in that Animedia issue though.
Yeah, it looks like
crammed it in there.
The cheat sheet for an exam.
Although I do wish like some of the choices are interesting, like. Do we not see do we not see Chibimon when we clearly do see Minamon and Upamon?
Chibimon died.
In Try. Yes.
From Alphamon.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then more Kizuna. I did the scans and breakdown of the What Lies Ahead new insert song CD. More of those are coming. I don't know. For some reason, I still like the cover. I still think it's really stupid they didn't show it to us when there's nothing on it. And I know we went over this last time, AR, but that really does come across as stupid.
Yeah, maybe. I think all the covers. I've said this before. I think all the covers are kind of lazy, so I don't really.
No, I know, but this is the one that was supposed to not.
I don't really have any feelings.
But this
about
this is the one that like they weren't showing, so we're like, maybe this will be the exciting one, and it is. But like the best part is silhouetted out, which would have made it worthless as spoilers in the first place.
And also, I have a question. Why the fuck is he being Thanos clicked away?
I believe it's just supposed to be like a digital effect.
Well, it looks like he's being Thanos clicked. Not unlike the 02 kids.
Yep.
And moving on to the new Digimon Adventure. It's not a shock since it's a week away, but the floodgates really did open, didn't it?
I'm so fucking hyped for this.
I think they need to open more, honestly. Like, I want to see more stuff ahead of time.
Yeah, let's see. We got the first... See, it's not the first footage, but it's like the first real footage because we had like the 2 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So Mezamashi TV showed a clip, and then right after we got the trailer version and the announcement for August 5th, which...
They put that on English channels.
Yes,
really, English Facebook and Twitter really fast too. I think that's the first new Digimon information I ever got off Facebook.
I should point out, and this is where even as well as Toei has been doing, they were still dumb this time. Do you know how?
They haven't announced streaming yet?
No, because that's not really that unexpected at this point.
I know, but I want them to.
The dumb thing was they put it up on the normal Toei Japan YouTube, and they didn't put it up on the English one for days.
Oh, yeah.
So they're like...
on YouTube, okay.
Yeah, so it's just kind of weird because moment one, it is in English on the Japanese channel if you think to go look. The actual English Toei US YouTube channel did not put it up for a day or two.
Oh.
Which is just kind of weird.
I didn't even check because it was up everywhere else.
No, that's what I mean, though. Like, it just seems very odd to not have it everywhere moment one. Especially the place that a lot of people would be subscribed to see trailers and stuff.
Well, as long as it's up now, because I'm going to need to download it for panels and such, if the conventions ever happen again.
And then we got an extended version of the Mezamashi clip, which had a... it's always hard to forget that, they're not really editing those clips for when they're showing. They're just overlaying other stuff on top of them. Mm-hmm. So when they're showing the interview footage, we're missing out on animation because no one edited anything. And we also got a guide listing that gave us the first title, which was Tokyo Digital Crisis. I like the weird thing about the titles are there's like 2 or 3 different ways to translate them. And someone asked why we went that way. It was to give kind of the same vibe as the way we've always translated the adventure titles, where it's sort of like 2 different things.
Yeah.
Because like the first was
the new evolved Digimon, and then slight flavor text.
Because you could rewrite that into being one thing.
Sure.
And it would work. So if these are the titles they're going with, we're going to skew towards trying to write them out like Digimon Adventure titles, basically.
Mm-hmm.
The May V-Jump gave us a bit of information regarding the digital world. I think the weirdest thing is how many people thought that like the cityscape was everything.
Oh, yeah, I suppose.
It just seemed it just seemed a bit weird to think.
Was more optimistic than that, but
no, I agree. A lot of people were like, "Oh, it just looks like a generic cityscape," and
it looked like an AR field.
Yeah, but but a lot of people sort of like thought that was it. And what's weird is like Adventure and Frontier and everything else had so many different things.
Sure.
That's kind of what I expected.
But it's also that Hunters and to a lesser extent Atmon didn't have that much stuff.
No, that's
so I think people are kind of going back to the more recent things, and especially with the reboots so focused on the real world at first, they're not, you might think that the digital world will play a lesser aspect of this, but
yeah, maybe.
I can understand the fear over that, but at the same time, without a digital world, it's really hard to call it adventure. Then it really is Atmon with the adventure kids.
And Greenie is Algomon.
Yay. I'm actually really happy about this.
I feel like there were only two obvious choices once we saw him, and everyone figured. Well, there were two obvious choices once they said it was in some fashion a pre-existing Digimon.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it could have always just been someone new entirely. Once they said pre-existing, everyone basically went to it was Kuramon or another form of Algomon.
Yeah. Which is a nice choice. It's Algomon it exists. It's also kind of, it's not really familiar to everybody. He definitely has a menacing vibe to him. Yeah. He also continues the tradition of borrowing stuff from Sabers whenever adventure needs inspiration.
To be fair though, Sabers didn't use anything, so
Sabers had Algomon.
Yeah, but it's not like it used him in a way. It used him in a movie that even Sabers fans don't like.
I didn't mind the movie.
I didn't mind the movie. It was okay.
Felt like it needed to be longer. It felt like it should have been longer than 20 minutes because
it was. Yeah, it either needed to be a full length. It either needed to be a full length movie or it needed to be like half as long as it was.
Yeah, so it's a terrible movie that could have been better if they changed everything.
I like
it had Lalamon with sausage nunchucks like that.
Yeah, I like the Lalamon sausage nunchucks. Yeah,
that's better than entire seasons.
Yes, it is. And then we got the character artwork for everyone, which not really a surprise that they used the generic shots for everyone, except Mimi. They used one of her secondary shots for, likely because it just gives a cleaner view of her.
Can I just say that I love the fact that they're using like the original poses in artwork that we had for the original season. I just love the fact that they're just saying, "Hey, look, it's same but different." It's great.
I think since these are really meant for like art references, that makes sense because they can literally just tell artists you can reuse any art as reference as long as the clothes are the new ones.
Yeah.
I'm trying to.
I want a hat that says TK on it.
I would say I only really have two issues, like two bigger issues overall. One, I don't think the cream-colored hat works on Mimi.
No, it does not.
Like, I think it needs some sort of color. And I don't, I have no real issue with the pink on Sora like a lot of people have. I think the red pants don't work, especially when you put her next to Mimi.
I think the problem with Sora is that the outfit itself, the new outfit is fine. I don't think the helmet goes with it anymore.
You're not wrong.
Is the best.
I think Hikari's works the best as a standalone new outfit.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah. I like Joe's that it's just like
Joe is just
different.
Let's just give him pants now.
And Yamato he's got pants now. Yamato's just fucking got the same shirt that he wore in the movie.
It's not quite as close as people think, but yes, that is what I thought once you actually like look at what he's wearing in the movie, it's more different than you'd think. But even I was like, wow, that's the same shirt, isn't it? Until I actually pulled it up and went, oh, it's actually different. And then we also have the new cast, which I'm not shocked at all that it does not match the leaked cast list that we didn't post, because leaked fake looking cast list was not only leaked and fake. The original person who posted it said they were just imagining what they would like it to be, and
someone took it as real.
Let's just say it's the same group of people who always think this stuff is real and always run around mistranslating stuff.
It's okay. Somebody put a dubcast on the Wikipedia page for Hunters.
What?
No, I'm not joking. Last I checked, the Wikipedia page for Hunters, the character list includes dub actors that don't exist.
Let's go over our cast that does exist. So Taichi's being played by Yuko Sanpei, which good casting there. She sounds good. Realistically, most people probably would know her as Boruto or Yu in Hacker's Memory. So Bort is playing Taichi. Come on, I set up the license plate joke perfect for you guys.
I was trying to think of something playing off of he's Gomamon's kid.
Huh.
And the one that everyone freaked out isn't the wrong word, but was ready to make jokes about was Yamato's being played by Daisuke Namikawa. which of course Daigo and Try. That one it does feel funnier than the rest, to be honest.
There's all sorts of connections you can make with that.
Yeah. Sora is being played by Ryoko Shiraishi, who half the cast from Cross Wars and Hunters.
Half the cast of Cross Wars is in this now.
I mean, Akari and Mervamon and Shohakaimon, and the hero in Redigitize, which makes sense. Koshiro is being played by Yumiko Kobayashi, which nothing Digimon, but a few voices that gives us an idea what Koshiro will sound like.
Yeah. Yep.
Mimi's by Marika Kono. She's, I believe, the newest one overall. But still more than a few years. Joe's Takeshi Kusa, who is Kiriha,
the other half of the Cross Wars cast.
Kiriha, Greymon, Blistamon, Bagramon. He was Revolmon back in 02.
I think they're getting new voice actors that have all been all the way back to 02.
Yeah, and Takuru's Megumi-Han, who has been Takuru since the PSP game.
Mm-hmm.
She was also Nokia in Cyber Sleuth and Iru in Hunters.
So we have both Iru and Shohakaimon in this.
Yes.
As the human kids.
Yes. And then Hikari is Misaka Watada. Her and Mimi's actresses are basically the only pseudo new people. Not to the franchise, but where you could say if you go back 5-6-ish years, they're not around as actors as much. Everyone else has been around for a decent chunk of time, doing a lot.
Especially Joe's VA, who looks like he's about 3 times older than the rest of the cast.
Yeah, he is. But yeah,
that's okay. Joe's the oldest, so it's fine.
Generically, if you go through that cast, that is pseudo all-star crazy cast.
Yeah.
And the Digimon are back, and some of the Digimon cast has been in Cross Wars too.
So then Digimon cast, 7 of the 8 are the same. Mi Sonozaki's taking over as Tailmon. I feel like we probably shouldn't comment on our guess on why Tailmon's new. Tailmon's actress hadn't been showing up at promotional stuff. I'm guessing she probably hasn't been well. She didn't generally show up as much as everyone else did. And I don't think she had a new headshot either. It may just be that she's just retiring for health reasons. But we will see. And the narrator, Masako Nozawa.
Who is she in Cross Wars?
Guilmon.
Chikado. Oh no, Guilmon.
Yeah. Guilmon and Dukemon.
Isn't that also Goku?
Yes.
Or am I...
Goku, Gohan, and Goten.
Yeah, okay, cool.
And I believe she narrated Tamers, didn't she?
Yeah, that's what I heard. Yeah. I believe so.
Now, to all Dragon Ball fans out there, we have taken your assumed time slot. We have taken your lead. Pray we do not take anything further. Well, Dragon Ball fans have been so fucking upset about this in general because they were really 100% sure that. I mean, I think we went over this last time. Where they just had assumed that the time slot was going to be a new Dragon Ball show.
Mm-hmm.
So they're still legitimately upset about this.
We're just a more popular franchise.
Oh no! See, it's especially funny for me because the With the Will server used to host the Kenzenshu forum, which is the biggest Dragon Ball forum, which is just slightly more amusing. But yeah, the cast is really good. I mean, if it had been newish actors for all the kids, I wouldn't have been surprised.
Mm-hmm.
But this is grabbing basically everyone they could. And let's see. They opened a new Twitter, a new Line account. They opened a sort of weird, you can paste messages starting on the 30th, and you will see Digimon walking across the screen saying them in text, called Digimon Parade. I feel like there has to be some sort of promotion that will show up at some point, and it's not just literally type in a message and people will see the Digimon walking across at some point. Because that feels awfully minimal.
Mm-hmm.
But we will see.
Yeah, I didn't really play with it all that much.
You can't. It's not open yet.
Mm.
You go there and you literally see them walking across saying their names or something. And then the big one was music. Man, the music stuff was more... so let's start with Tenimoto Takayoshi's doing the opening. He feels like the smart, safe choice for them to pick to not have to deal with fans going, well, why didn't you just use Butterfly by Watakoji?
Because you're free from its tyranny.
Well, like, here's the thing, because he's very, very good, but he's also the safe choice at not having to deal with it because he's been doing Digimon music for roughly 20 years. He's sung plenty with AIM, Watakoji, Ayumi Miyazaki. So
he's in the club, but he's not one of the spotlight members of it.
Yeah, it's like saying if the intro had been Butterfly sung by AIM or Ayumi Miyazaki, everyone would have went, okay, that makes sense.
I would have been disappointed by that.
Yeah,
honestly.
This is a safe choice, but not a overly safe choice. Because or just throwing, like we've said it before, at some point we do expect Butterfly Strong to just show up somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, we said
as a background tune, instrumental maybe.
No, not for the show. I mean in general, because it never got used for anything.
Oh,
like at one point, like at one point we said we wouldn't have been shocked if it had been the song used in the movie, but this was long ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the new theme song is titled "Unidentified Airship." And I should point out, originally a lot of people were translating it as UFO. It oddly does not clearly translate to that, which is why everyone sort of shifted off that pretty quickly. Because UFO...
Because I think that Japan just uses UFO.
Yeah.
Like, they just
but
they do.
See, here's the thing, though. If it had translated to UFO, we could have said it was unidentified object, and that title makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
It seemingly actually does translate specifically to airship. Not like what they would use as object or whatever.
Yeah.
So slightly odd, but we will see. The ending theme is Regrets Bring Fruit by Fujiwara Chiwai. I'm sure I said that wrong. That's already up for pre-order as part of her new album. We got a preview of it. It sounds really good, but it's weirding a lot of people out because it's really hard to identify why it sounds familiar. The closest anyone has gotten was someone mentioning it sounds sort of like Kingdom Hearts music, but I don't think that's quite right. It has a weird familiar sound to it. It sounds really good though, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Although I gotta say the normal cover is like hard to look at. That's the one with like the grid. That's the one with the grid, and it's like yeah, your eyes.
The migraine pattern.
Yeah, your eyes do not want to focus, and then you're like, okay, I'll look at the other one. It's like, oh, good, blood. That's better. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that. And then the background music is effectively finding the biggest person they could, which is Toshihiko Sahashi. He's done so much. I literally could not have listed everything if I wanted to. Like, the amount of stuff he's done is just shocking. That is basically like going, we're going to figure out what music to use. We're going to target it. And that's like getting a pistol or something. And then going, just get the biggest guy you can to do the best music you can and blow everything up with a rocket launcher. So it will be interesting to see what he comes up with because, I mean, if you go through his credits, it's basically just some of the best background music there is.
Nice.
So that will be interesting to see what else comes up. And the odd surprise is they announced a new Digimon News navigation. But at least this time they clearly did not promise something they would announce ahead of time and then make us all go, wow, this is sort of shit.
I know I don't have to get up for this one.
Yeah, so Chiaka Matsuzawa is the host, which we've seen her a lot. This time, we know what to expect for Chika Sakamoto, which it will be the Agumon mascot costume miming while they have recordings of her. Because last time, we all kind of went like, the wording seems odd the way they're referring to her. And it's like, is she not going to be there and it'll just be like a recording? And it was literally just the Agumon mascot costume and they're playing audio. And Yuko Sanpei, who's Taichi in Adventure. This time, all they are promising is information about Adventure the day before it begins, and some new information about the Digimon card game.
Yeah.
I like that they're doing this one more. I really do think last time they intended to announce the show there, and they decided that was a bad idea.
Yeah, it feels like it.
And then we got a ton of card game stuff. Toya is in heaven. I've been talking to Toya a lot.
That.
Yeah, he's super fucking happy about everything.
Which is good. They're rolling this out in a nice way.
Yeah. So before the actual Digimon card game, one last update for Battle Spirits. We got a giant fucking printable playmat with like huge art of the new Kizuna Digimon on it. When I was sent it, because I hadn't gotten it myself yet, someone sent it in to make sure we had it. It's like a 2 or 3 meg document that I had to extract the image from and everything. Because they did it as a big printable PDF. I don't think last time we saw the secret variants, which there weren't enough this time, so they brought in ones from the O2 tri-set. And then, the interesting thing was, we knew the campaign cards were going to be the last levels from Adventure from the first set. They did something very small but kind of cute for these. If you look, it does not have the Battle Spirits X symbol. They've replaced them with the crests, which is a nice little touch.
That's fun.
Yeah. And then the card game had more news than you'd think possible, frankly. So first up, we finally got to see the sleeves and then got cleaner art of them. The sleeves look kind of amazing, to be honest. Where each one's basically like a duo monochrome. And the only one that looks weird to me is Metal Garurumon doesn't feel like he quite matches for some reason. I don't know why. And we also got details for Booster Set 1, including confirmation of green cards.
Just on Metal Garurumon. I think it's because his face is too long.
Maybe. I mean, yeah. I guess so, because everyone else is kind of humanoid, aren't they?
Yeah, and he looks like he's been squished as well. Like, it looks like it's been flattened, like his face has been sat on or something. It just looks weird.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I wonder if that is it. Huh.
Yeah, that's it.
It looks like they had the art and then they had to like make it like thin of vertically or something. So they had to squish it down. It just looks weirdly
that may be it.
I don't know, it just looks weird, yeah.
Yeah, the first booster set will be in May. May. It has Omegamon on the...
Yeah.
Man, they're not waiting for him, are they?
No.
It will have green cards, which... It feels kind of weird to launch the game and then have the first booster set have entirely new colors. Like, just have them there from the beginning. V-Jump went over the rules pretty in detail. I think Toya went through and basically was able to go through the whole rules from them. And we got the first 2 promo cards that weren't from the original promo deck. Garurumon and Weregarurumon. Everyone's referring to Weregarurumon as fluffier than normal. Like, he does look fluffy in the art, I will say.
I like it.
Yeah, they put up... they announced that the promo cards will come to the USA as part of the US release of the last Evolution CSA, but it's just the same Japanese set. So not anything huge there. They opened the official site and man, it was one of those weird things because it was basically like a landing page with minimal stuff before, and the new site just has a ton.
Yeah, it's content.
Yeah.
Lots of content.
Yeah. It's actually shocking how like fully set up it really was. They also started a card game show on YouTube and put up the first 2 episodes, which, again, people who were looking forward to the card game have said it actually has quite a bit. I somehow the name Fun Digicod just seems a bit lazy, but I will. Yeah, but yeah, it's just fun Digimon card and shorten the rest to seem good. The weirdest thing is the teaching app that they put out, though. So it's basically to teach you how to play the card game, against computer opponents. They show you the rules. The weird thing is Toya said that after you do tutorials and stuff, you actually get half decks for free play against the computer. Which means meaning programmed in here is a fully working digital version of the card game.
Mm-hmm.
Smaller scale, but that does mean that if they wanted to, they could do a digital version of it. It's already done.
Good.
So
absolutely.
I kind of wonder if maybe if we don't get the card game in the US, if we could get something based on this.
Oh, that would be nice.
That'd be sick. I want that.
Because here's the thing. I can understand why they maybe wouldn't launch a new card game here. But this you could do and just do it digitally, and it seems they already have it.
Mm-hmm.
It's already
it's
programmed.
Also good feel it in case they want to see if there's interest or if they want to release the card game in English.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
But like they even have like cut-in animations of like actual like if this had just been like video samples, no one would have been shocked. But like the diagonal screenshots with the Digimon images that I put on the site, according to Toya, those are like when you evolve, you get like a quick slide over cut-in type thing.
Oh man,
that is far more like
that's way beyond a teaching app.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, and if you look at like the card layout, they're actually like mathing out angles to show the card and everything. This is much more effort than they had to go to. So I really do wonder if something may pop up. Or if they just see this as needing to do fancy advertising, but it seems so unnecessarily opulent for Bandai to do this.
Both fancy advertising, a legitimate training app, and also a beta test for the digital version.
Yeah, it's just it's hard to say because like if they don't do anything, I wouldn't be shocked, but it feels like this is meant to be something. So we will see. So season 1 isn't on Stars anymore, but season 2 is. Like
the merry-go-round continues.
Well, because here's the thing: it at this point it has to be lapsing licenses, and Adventure was done before anything else, and everything else was kind of added to it at the end.
We'll find out next year when season 2 disappears.
Assuming it ever does, stuff could be taken care of before then, and we would never find out how it ends. Because I think Frontier's still there also.
Oh. Okay.
Put your best foot forward. Season 2 and Frontier.
I remember this all started with 02 and Tamers ending up on Hulu. And just those two. That's what actually got me to write System Restore to begin with. I was watching Tamers again on Hulu.
To be fair, though, those original ones were the horrible subtitled copies they made.
Yes, they were.
And they were not on Hulu originally. They were originally download to own. You had to buy them.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
They were on Direct to Drive. I think you could buy them through the early setup Crunchyroll had where they did download to own. I think I may be wrong with that, but it was all the early download to own stores, and they were really fucking horrible. Like, actually, they're still up on the PlayStation Store, as I recall. Like, they're still there with that horrible custom 02 logo they made that I think they got from, like, one toy in Korea or something, where, like, it doesn't look like any other logo we have. So we'll see what happens with this soon, because licenses are lapsing. At some point, something will happen. It's just, it's probably a matter of everything lapsing before they do anything.
Mm-hmm.
But we did get some anniversaries. So 21st anniversary of Adventure.
We get an anniversary of everything. It's March and April. This is when the new seasons were ending and the new ones were starting. So it's just going to be anniversary time for a bunch of stuff.
Yeah. So March 4th was the 20th anniversary of Children's War Game, or the thing that's probably inspired more of the franchise than anything.
This is probably of all of the ones that are on this list, I think this is the only anniversary that actually was really commemorated.
I'd say Adventure probably was also.
The Adventure ending was commemorated for sure.
Yeah, but I saw a lot a few weeks ago for Adventure.
It's 21st. It's not quite the same. Last week I saw a lot more for Adventure and the 20th anniversary of the last episode Adventure. Yeah. This week.
Well, to be fair, that was only 2 or 3 days ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which means next week would be the 20th anniversary of 02 starting.
Yep. And then the 21st anniversary of the first Adventure movie. The 18th anniversary for Runaway Digimon Express, the 19th for Revenge of Diablomon, and the 5th for Cyber Sleuth. And today is the 13th for Sunburst and Moonlight.
Oh.
I'm trying to decide which is the best thing on the list and which is the worst. The best is probably Children's War Game. The worst is probably Sunburst and Moonlight.
I haven't played it, but I think that's a bold statement. Not that I necessarily disagree. I'm not a fan of Runaway Digimon Express.
No, to be clear, I'm not saying that as an insult either. I'm just saying if you were to look at the anniversary list, what is the low thing on the list?
Of the six you put up there, Runaway Digimon Express.
I'd say Runaway Digimon.
Yeah, but plus Sunburst and Moonlight, since that just got added, I just didn't throw it on the list.
Yeah,
I haven't played it, so I'm not going to judge.
That's a hedge, if any. See, I
like Sunburst and Moonlight.
See, I think Runaway Digimon Express is reasonably good, but yeah, it is
good.
There is no low bar here, to be fair.
I'd say it's a Digimon Adventure or Runaway Digimon.
Yeah.
As the Digimon Adventure, the prequel movie. I mean.
Oh, I like the prequel movie more than Runaway Digimon.
Plus,
I think
Sunburst and Moonlight also protect Cyber Sleuth on this list.
Because Cyber Sleuth is one of the higher ones.
No, I'd actually say Cyber Sleuth is worse than Dusk and Dawn.
Ooh. I'd put Cyber Sleuth second behind. I'd have it second behind Children's War Game.
See, I will admit that may be true for one reason. It's been a long time since I've played Dusk Dawn, and when I played them, it was right when they came out, and it was just it really did not work because you had just had a brand new Pokemon game that really worked well and it changed things a bit. And it was just a retread of the prior one, so it's possible I am thinking overly negative of those two. I just don't remember them being that fun.
I know, but at least they have backgrounds for the world. It's not just fucking 100 Hours of Blue, which is my main playing Cyber is a fucking trip.
That is
so slow.
You mean you don't like running through the same scene time after time looking for badges?
No, at least fucking Dusk and Dawn had some form of world. It seemed interesting.
And more game stuff. The Idolmaster collaboration ended, but they did reveal one small thing at the end, which is there's actually an Idolmaster poster in the movie, right behind Taichi Yamato.
That's cute.
Rearise. They did a side story in between season 1 and 2. Then they quickly teased season 2 and got it out. And we got the name of Bandage Girl, which is Mon. And
that's not suspicious at all.
Yeah, it's worth mentioning that it does not spell out the same way as the Mon in Digimon. So it's slightly less esoteric in Japanese. I just couldn't think of any other real way to spell that when we did it.
It said how it said.
Yeah. So I sort of just went with Mon. It's possible it's meant to be M-A-H-N, and it's supposed to be slightly less on the nose.
Oh, jeez.
Well, you know what I mean.
I do.
Yeah. And her. I don't think it's clear. I don't remember if they're actually partners or if they're just quote unquote partners doing stuff together. Mm-hmm. But it's Hackmon, who everyone either loves to see or hates to see.
It means stuff's happening.
Yeah. We got voice actors for both of them, which again, Re-Rise has gotten like a lot of huge voice actors.
They have. I like it.
And like I said, season 2 began and they did season 2 commemorative Harrismon, which everyone in Japan playing gets, and they did the movie collaboration in the global version.
I love that. I have a Digimon now.
Yeah, it's.
And then they fucking canceled it.
Actually, I may be wrong.
They canceled part 2.
Yeah, they canceled the movie. Yeah, that's okay.
I have the collaboration. They had a part 2 of it. And they said, sorry, we will not be continuing on with this collaboration.
I recall a tweet from AR being very excited that he had played through and got in Vmon.
I got.
You know, that's in part 1. That's in part 1.
Yeah, that's the part 1. Part 2 is Agumon.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I know, but they just said they're cancelling it or delaying it rather because of Kizuna not coming out.
Yeah, I didn't actually see that message, but okay. I have Vmon, I'm happy.
Poor Re-Rise. And then moving into Survive, we got
and poor Re-Rise, they actually jumped the timeline for something.
Yes,
they had not done that before. That's a big deal.
My understanding is they have with a few non-important ones.
Oh.
But I'm saying poor Re-Rise because the one time they tried doing something really special for the global version, and they got smacked in the face.
Yeah. I mean, it was really embarrassing when they did the New Year's thing, and it was still the year of the pig-themed.
Yeah. And then for Survive, we got more details for Kaido and Dracon, which we went over last time, so we won't this time. We got details for Mew and Shakomon. And most interestingly, we got what appears to be final version of the key art.
I love that little rollout. Just put everybody in there.
Although
look at all these disasters.
I feel like the rollout was actually a failure. Because after they updated it for the main trio, I don't think we ever saw it again until now with new stuff on it.
I mean, I don't think they put like everybody beyond the main 3. I think they just had the main 3 and then
No. That's what I mean. We got the first one, which had Takuma and Agumon.
Yeah. Then they had the trio.
And then we got this. So it never came across as a rollout, is what I mean.
I know. I kind of like that was a little pulled that on us. A little bit of a sneakery there. It's like suddenly you got the whole team there and we are all actively rooting for them to suffer.
Yeah, and in no way does this look like Adventure.
I like these kids a lot less than Adventure, and I think that's a good tone to take.
So you're saying these 8 kids who get sent to a world while going to some sort of camp? Realistically, it's all a little bit too on the nose for me.
It's slightly adjacent. It's just adjacent enough for me to go, okay, this is going to be dark. This is going to be alternate Twisted Adventure where they're
I know, but like the entire thing is like when we kept going Adventure Extreme, it was supposed to be a joke, and the longer it's gone on, it's kind of not really a joke anymore.
I get what you're saying. I think the character profiles, like the characters themselves, kind of lend themselves into a little more of a.
I feel like
a little more video game appropriate. I would say
yes, but I would say
especially a survival horror video.
I don't really think this is survival horror, to be honest. I think people have over decided that's what it is. I'm not really expecting survival horror at all.
I'm still hoping for it because I read these bios and I go, oh, okay, the messes.
See, I feel like the bios read to me generically as adventure with a twist. It's adventure with a side of lime.
See, I'm okay with that.
No,
it doesn't end up being
I'm perfectly okay with that. My only issue is it all feels just a little too on the nose for me. Where for almost everyone, they cleanly fit into not just an archetype, but basically an exact setup adventure with a slight character twist, and maybe they've moved the Digimon around slightly.
I think we've proven over the last few years that on the nose to adventure works really well
No,
for Toei and Bandai.
Oh no, it does. But even I like to see some variation as much as I like adventure, and I'm not sure there's enough variation here. But that could be very. This could all be set up. To be fair.
Yeah, I think I see enough difference for me to be satisfied with this roster.
I'll be satisfied based on how they act in the game. It's hard. That's the one thing I will say. It's hard for me to say I'm satisfied when we don't like profiles can be kind of fake for profile's sake. Until we see the game, I don't know if I like these or not.
Mm-hmm. I mean, but if I compared the profiles for these kids versus the profiles for the rebooted Adventure kids, I see some pretty stark differences, and that's where I'm kind of excited for both products.
Yeah, well, I'm more guarded just because I would rather.
And also, we're going to be reintroduced to all of these kids when we actually play the game anyway.
Yeah, so we'll see. I do like the artwork though. There's no complaints there. That just looks nice.
Yeah.
And wow, they've really done a lot of product stuff lately. So they've teased US Wave 3 V pets, and the response has effectively shown why so very often they do not ask our opinion. Have you seen the responses?
I like to distance myself away from that.
Yeah, that's fine.
From comments.
Yeah, I recall even talking to Hugh Muelos and others. It was like, yeah, they aren't really. I would say most of the responses are probably chucked out because they aren't answering the question, and many people even admit they're not answering the question. They're just saying what they want. So, I am guessing most of those are being chucked out. I would like to see what colors do pop up for Wave 3, though. And then, keychains of the new Digivices. I feel like not showing the activated ones feels like... I'm trying to think, because like it's not going to be surprising because we roughly know what they're going to be.
Mm-hmm. Unless they change up everyone's crests.
They could, but like I believe we've already seen Taichi's glowing orange, for example. I think in one of the trailers.
Have we seen actual crests in the reboot?
Yes.
Maybe
we have.
We see the crest.
That would have been a great departure.
Yeah. No, we see the crest of courage in the trailer, and even the gummy product even says that it's key to the series.
Oh.
But what if kids have different crests?
They could, but
that would be a little. I would have rather them just not have crests and had something different.
Yeah.
So the
emblems.
No, I mean that's one way you can translate crest. There's no difference there,
man. That's the joke. I'm well aware that the words are the same in Japanese.
That's a bad joke. Go sit in timeout.
Hey, I got it.
Go sit in timeout. So the Crest of Courage gummies are orange flavored, shaped like the Crest of Courage, and you get random stickers. I don't know why I like that these are so stupid. Although, the weird thing is the new art of Agumon and Greymon looks new. Gabumon feels like I've seen that art before. I'm pretty sure it's new, but it feels like I've seen it before. The weird one is using the Appmon pose for War Greymon, though. It's always nice to see Appmon pop up at random.
Which one was it?
The 3 super rares.
Oh.
The War Greymon art is a redraw of the claw pose he used in Appmon. The Metal Garurumon one is a redraw of his art from Digimon Crusader. And I feel like the Omegamon art I've seen before, but I couldn't track down anything super similar. But I feel like since the first 2 fit that theme, that the third probably does also. Someone needs to import these because stupid. And then the jigsaw puzzles. I don't plan to get them, but that new piece of key art we got from them really good. I want that key art as a big poster. Any thoughts on it or no? See,
fine.
I thought May was gonna like the Mimi art from it, and I think Sora looks better here than she does in a lot of the art we've seen so far.
Yeah, I like all the art.
Yes.
I just like it.
Yeah,
it's
the
just
art,
really nice.
Yeah, it's all right. It's fine.
Yeah.
This one, it doesn't. The new one doesn't like excite me any more than the last one did.
See, for some reason that one I really did like seeing. That hey, we get the CSA in the USA, like we mentioned earlier. It feels kind of dickish to only put this up after the pre-orders ended, though. And they are kicking back the Metal Garurumon kit by a month, which not as big shock right now.
Mm-hmm.
They also put up the Ultimate Image X figure of Omegamon. May, was that one that you were skipping?
Which one?
The Ultimate Image figure of Omegamon X?
No, I'm not skipping that one, no.
Did you pre-order it early enough in Japan to get the Shikishi with it?
I don't actually know. Probably. I know I pre-ordered early, but I don't think I pre.
Yeah, I think they put that up for pre-order like last August, and it's still not out yet.
I can't even remember. I know I pre-ordered it like a long time ago. I pre-ordered it in. Let's see. No, it's not that one.
Probably August, I would guess.
Yeah, I pre-ordered it fucking a long time ago though.
And they're reprinting the Memorial Book, and pre-orders are up at Amazon Japan.
I actually ordered this.
Wow.
This one looks interesting. Yeah, this looked interesting to me.
That's not a bad choice. I'm just shocked because you very often don't do that.
It's a little easier it's easier for me when I can just order it on Amazon. I have enough Japanese to get through an Amazon order, so sure, I can handle this.
You can make everything English on Amazon Japan. There's a little button at the top.
Yeah.
And then we get the Australian trio. May got the Greymon windshield shade.
And I'm so happy, and it immediately went cold.
I'm kind of jealous of that. I would like a Greymon windshield
And then shade. We got the mug. Were you getting the mug, May?
Nah, I probably won't get the mug. I've got so many mugs. I've got far too many mugs, so I'm not getting this one. Sadly.
And then the Australian box set for Try, which I still like the way they've done the logo on these, where they use the flat version and they don't put a blue blob behind it.
Mm.
And then in Japan, Toei shareholders got sets of cheap gift cards. These are like $3 each, but featuring artwork from various Toei shows, including the poster art from Adventure, the new one. We're going to see those stupid things show up on Yahoo auctions in a few years for like $50 each, aren't we? The Kizuna bracelets are getting a general release, which...
That's cool.
Oddly, there's a whole stack of them someone ordered, which I can see in the affiliate panel at CD Japan. Someone ordered a number of these. So at some point I want to math out which ones were bought the most by people. The Kizuna card premium editions are at Premium Bandai. I don't know, all the artwork on these I actually really like, to be honest. It was nice to get a few slightly more unexpected choices like Stingmon and XVmon in there. The O2 artwork being on the side feels a little off, but I still like it. And the last small product is they put the Karates Karaoke exclusive products up to order, so you don't have to go. I feel like even if it's through an intermediary, I feel like at some point May will end up with that Miyako stand.
Yeah, I like Miyako.
Yeah, that was the one where I went, I don't know how May's going to get it, but she's going to get that stand somehow, someday.
It's probably on. Someone's probably put it up on From Japan or something. I'll find a way.
But I believe they're taking those down on Tuesdays, and time changes. So if someone wants those, they should probably get them soon. And the lead up is nearly. I believe tomorrow will be the last one. So did Soul Eater again? Did Kamino Maid Guy? I wasn't going to do any more Gundam, but I did both Thunderbolts because they put those up for free for the month. Hero Man and redid Toradora, and like I said, I'm pretty sure the next one's the last. I just need to figure out what to put up for it. Because the one that I was going to put up last, I already did. So we will see. And we get some art. First, Zexmon's weird because he is 100% not an official Digimon by an official Digimon designer that he was basically designing to be an official Digimon and just never got used. He was designed as an enemy counterpart to Omegamon before there was a bunch of Omegamons, and he was a combination of Armagamon and Imperial Dramon. I like the. Sorry, go ahead.
I like the arm. The arm on the Armagamon arm, I guess, on the right side. That it reminds me of Mianumon and Montana-chan. Just a weird touch.
I like how he even, to fit the X-antibody themed, he even has the hair. Yeah, interesting design, a sort of not what might have been. And then we have the art from the memorial book, which, I don't know, I like all... Basically, they got art from a number of people associated with the brand to do new artwork. So we have Kenji Watanabe drawing basically the Adventure Digimon, kind of working on the movie. Katsuyoshi Nakatsu, who did designs for much of the anime, including the movie, drawing Taichi no Agumon in a very familiar non-Digimon art style. Which goes back to him saying that he thinks they hired him for Adventure because they wanted it to look like Dragon Ball, and he just sort of didn't do it.
Didn't do that, yeah.
But he even said that's his assumption, that they wanted it to look that way. That no one ever told him to do it. He just assumed that's why he was hired. Takaki Yamashita, who was the animation director for the original Adventure movie, War Game. He did character design for War Game also, did key animation for a bunch of stuff. He drew Taichi, and it's very much like the shot of Taichi pulling the goggles from the movie. And Tenya Yabuno drawing all his familiar characters again. It's always
a V-Tamer in there. Yeah, let's give Ray some love.
It's like, here's the thing. We do still see that version of Taichi and Zeromaru show up in art once in a while. Gabu and Ray we see much less.
Yeah, I don't see Gabu and Ray that often.
Yeah. But it's nice to see them both. And then the surprises is Pumpmon and Gatsumon from Special. Here's the thing. Since they announced what the special was, it felt like the idea was that we were going to be told fake stories. And the designs kind of make me go
in that direction, for sure.
Yes, because it's a purposely cool, stylish Pumpin' Gatsu that don't quite fit, but we will see. But the entire idea was it. But the entire from the moment we were told what it was basically Vmon and Gabumon telling each other stories, and one of them's about Pumpin' Gatsu, and it feels like that's what this is. But we will see. The last year has been very big for those two. We got the April Fool's art of them a year ago. They showed up in Frontier.
Pumpmon got an ultimate.
Yeah. They put them in the Vanquish collaboration because it's Shibuya.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
It's been a big year for those two. So at near the end for them to get what's probably jokey redesigns, but who knows? We may see. I feel like at some point Kenji Watanabe pointed out that the designs that they did for them were purposely ludicrous. I feel like we heard that a few months ago, and he just didn't clarify what that meant. And then, the art's good. Part 2 of Anion Station, which got delayed because of shutting down for a while due to coronavirus. The poor O2 kids can't catch a break, can they?
Hey, the art's good.
Yeah. So
the art's met expectations.
So the key art is based on the end shot from the opening of O2, with everyone wearing their new stuff and the Digimon wearing their kid stuff. Can we all just point out that, like, while everyone guessed what everyone was wearing, everyone was 100% correct for Patamon?
Mm-hmm.
And Patamon looks the bestest, the hat. And, like, it doesn't even make sense how the hat's there. And it's just good because it's the hat.
Mm-hmm.
They added a bunch of new O2 stuff and some products featuring both the O2 kids and the Adventure kids. I will admit, I guess I shouldn't be surprised that there was no redesign for the D3 for these at all. It's just the try ones. I guess I thought they'd be restyled a little bit for these, but it's not that surprising that they're not. The new drinks are, again, something. Everyone pick one that they think they would actually eat.
Vmon I might handle.
I will always just go with, like, the weirdest looking one. Like, that's kind of my rule.
Okay, so what is the weirdest looking one in this combination? I guess Wormmon's? I guess it's Wormmon's.
Yeah, Wormmon's.
It's always the green one, right? It's always, like, because it's always Mimi's is the weird one.
I mean, at the same time, Patamon is literally soup.
Yeah, but Patamon's feels like it's a cheat because it is just soup. Although the weird thing is they had to get the Monaca on there, so they glob on some whipped cream to stick it on when it's soup. That's a bit like, it's weird, but it's not really part of the soup. It's more to the side of the soup. I feel like this is one of the few times where Hikari's doesn't look kind of weird and disgusting.
Yeah.
It's still kind of weird and disgusting. Kind of. It's in proportion to all the others being kind of weird and disgusting.
Yes. Although I will say I like the Armadamon one having the roll cake. That's clever, I will say.
Yeah.
Then
which one?
Armadamon's drink. There's an actual roll cake on
right.
it.
I was trying to work out. You mean Amadimon, right? Sorry.
Let's see. Mine. God, I guess I'd probably go with AR and say the Vmon lemonade is the closest thing I would probably like. The food this time is a bit odder. So there's the parfait, which is just a parfait. The ramen, didn't they do like a blue curry last time? Like, for try at one point, we all kind of went, that does not look appealing at all.
Oh yeah, the one with the boat, the trolley car.
Yeah. I think the weird blue ramen I can live without. And products are interesting. The mini Shikishis I actually like, to be honest. But not much more to say on those. I still like the artwork for everything, though. And then a bunch of little collaboration updates. Limited Base did a lot. And so they added more products at the 3 stores that were open at the time. The keychains I actually really like. The Omegamon one and the Beelzebumon one. Then they announced a new one pop-up theater opening in Sendai, and all of them that were open added Kumamon Adventure stuff, which is nice because the handful of stuff they did prior to this you could only get through the contest. But this stuff's all new. The weird little Tai Chi art, you would think that would be Agumon, though. So weird. They added the Omegamon Vanquish stuff. The barbecue collaboration got extended because that was doing well. And I like that they did indeed add one of the exclusive stickers for the Sendai one, which I think that's that dough that they hit. I don't remember what it's called, though.
Oh, the rice, the mochi.
I don't think it's mochi. It's crap. I can't remember what it's called, but I think, but it is some Sendai specialty where, like, I think it's more of a savory dough, though. I think. Yeah, I'm not going to remember the name at all. So, hey, Gem Metal Greymon's up for pre-order. And they announced at the last second that it's premium gem, which I think we said price-wise it felt like it was going to be premium gem.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I'm getting this one. I really wanted it, but 220s just... May, are you getting this for your new office?
No, I don't get all the gem figures anymore. I'm only getting Old Force because it's Old Force.
Yeah,
That's about it.
I really want this one because this really is like one of the most impressive ones. I just don't know. If I'd collected all the Agumon ones, I'd probably think different. And then we get the social art that we were teasing earlier.
These were so good.
Yeah. So first up, there's the Crosswords art that they put. It was basically just a message of being calm today, and it was obviously a reference to the 2011 earthquake and tsunami because Crosswords was running at the time. The White Day, which was
Yep.
Yeah, the White Day art is just amazing.
There he is.
Yes. And then Volcano Oda put up Leomon fighting the coronavirus.
As he does.
And as people sent messages worried about Leomon's health regarding this for obvious reasons, he said that Leomon would be okay. He would
He's only died of illness once.
Yeah, he actually said that he will disinfect his blade, he will wash his hands, he will gargle, and then he will not meet up with other Digimon for a while.
Yeah, I saw the beginning of X Evolution. I know how this is going to end.
Yeah. And then, a week later, we had another batch of art. So we had Lilymon deciding she wants to be a VTuber.
After watching AppTube, in fact.
Yes.
I like that they snuck that in there.
And then a random image of Monzemon with little explanation, but the text was basically, oh, what is that? Namagami Monzemon. Is that Monzemon's friend? Is basically a virtual YouTuber named, I believe it was Namagami, has been playing Digimon World, and something happened with Monzemon, I'm not quite sure. So they started using that hashtag. And then Volcano Oda posted another one with Beelzebubon because fans who spoke English pointed out that his name was Corona Blaster.
Corona Blaster, yeah.
Yeah. The funny part was his message even said, here's one of Beelzebubon Blast modes. Some of you may be thinking, this guy's getting a bit ahead of himself due to his previous Leomon drawing. And he goes, I don't deny it. Yeah. Yeah, he has always had such a great sense of humor. And then just yesterday, put up another batch of them. So, and I only do these once a week because most of them don't really warrant an update on their own. So first was Coronamon battling the coronavirus, which that feels a little on the nose and maybe
it's so
tone
on
deaf.
The nose, I like it anyway.
It's on the nose and more than tone deaf, I would say.
Yes, I love it.
Yeah. Lunamon washing her hands feels like makes more sense.
I mean, if you're gonna have Coronamon, it's only appropriate to give Lunamon some love too.
And
because we all like Dusk Dawn.
And then Volcano Oda posted Vritramon and was pointed out that one of his techniques was Corona Blaster.
Wow.
Oh man, one second. Is that just in the dub or is that in the Japanese also? I'm actually pulling it up because
tell you.
I can't remember.
Okay, no, it is in the Japanese. So yeah, and he points out that he drew it, he posted it. He thinks this one feels a bit too much like the Beelzebubon one, but he drew it, so he was putting it up. And then he drew Volcamon, which is based on him.
Yeah.
I'm just laughing at that one because he's been having such fun. And it's even though he's not officially associated with the brand anymore, it's always nice to hear from him. Because there was a very long time when literally the brand continuing was because of him dragging it along, when he probably could have more easily walked away. So it's always fun to hear from Volcano Oda. And then we have questions. So while you guys think up stuff in the chat, we'll go over some of the prepared ones. We got a lot of ones that we've kind of mashed into nothing, which is, will Crunchyroll get Adventure? Will Adventure get a dub? Will Kizuna get a dub? Will Crunchyroll get Kizuna? And so forth.
We're going to get all this stuff pretty soon. I don't know who's going to carry it. I don't know when, but we'll get it eventually.
Yes. So we will... I'm not sure I expect Adventure on day one. I would expect it within a week or two, realistically, based on... Toei has been trying way too hard for the new version of Adventure to have English stuff ready.
Yeah, I think they have something in mind.
Yes. Kizuna...
Kizuna is going to happen when it happens.
Kizuna's in a weird position right now. I would expect something at some point. I think a lot of people, when it was canceled, were like, it's going to show up on Crunchyroll. And no. Like, here's the thing. It only shows up on Crunchyroll if Crunchyroll is willing to pay for a movie.
Yeah, the question is now, will they decide that it's still worth it to do a theatrical release, or are they just going to go straight ahead with the disc?
Yeah. Now, here's the thing. They could very well go, okay, a disc will... And this is just me looking at a calendar and making up a date. Let's say the disc will show up on July 7th. I don't know why I scrolled down and then just picked my birthday anyways. But that is a Tuesday. It could be they'll do screenings on the 6th. Because that's not abnormal for Fathom stuff.
Yeah.
But the truth is part of picking stuff for Fathom showings is picking when there's an open moment. And
if it gets into the summer, there may not be openings left if everything's getting delayed, and you have summer blockbuster season.
Exactly.
It's crowded.
So we will see what happens.
There's also a possibility that if they do air it, I wonder if it does get held back to like July and they still decide to do a theatrical release, would they consider putting it in the dub instead if it's ready by then?
Yeah, that's true also. Basically, we don't know, and there's a lot of possibility.
You do hear a lot of comments when it was getting promoted on Facebook, especially, that say that they said they would have rather seen a dub release, which obviously wasn't possible for March, but if it gets held back to July, who knows?
I honestly believe their goal was to get it out reasonably as quickly as possible and before the new show.
Absolutely.
And that
was sub only.
Yeah, and that's not happening at this point, so we will see. Then there are various questions about if coronavirus affecting the site, the podcast, but no effect on the site, no real effect on the podcast, minus the lack of the special because we don't have the movie to see.
Yeah, we were going to do one Tuesday, and because the thing got canceled, we were going to do this episode on Tuesday, basically.
And we decided to wait so we could have May and...
Yeah.
Because here's the thing. And even in my head, I did kind of go, they could always decide to throw up on iTunes for $20. And then if that happens, we'll watch it and we'll just talk about the movie. And then we'll do something on news on Tuesday, if that had happened.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it didn't, but there's been no real effect on doing the show minus that the original plan shifted around.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, everything for the site and podcast have been fine thus far. No real effect on those.
I'm indoorsy in general, so other than event cancellations, I have been rolling pretty minimal adjustments.
I mean, I suppose you could say the not quite a podcast me and Victor did last week was because of that also, but that's not really a real effect of it.
That sounds more like Victor was bored.
Yes. Our first real question was, everyone seems to be watching Money a bit closer due to coronavirus. What is something you guys bought that was just kind of dumb or that you had to justify to others in the last few months?
You mean the Memorial Art book I just bought?
That's literally, I do that normally. Like that's not, in fact, the Australian dollar is really bad at the moment. I think it's basically like $1 American's actually $2 Australian or something.
Ooh,
it's really bad at the moment. So yeah, I think Doom is out on Steam on PC for about $150, and everyone's just kind of like, ha.
I bought Doom 64 on PC. Ported for the first time.
Is that an actual different levels of Doom, or is that just part of the original?
Doom 64 is a sequel to Doom 2.
Oh, okay.
So
for some reason, I thought that the original Doom was ported to N64.
That's why
that's
why it isn't as well known as the others, because most people assume it's just a port. Basically, years before Doom 3, they actually made a sequel to Doom 2.
Huh.
And all the graphics have been redrawn and everything for the N64. It is an original game that had never been ported elsewhere.
Incidentally, if you really like really old first-person shooters, John St. John, who Duke Nukem, released a video of Duke Nukem reading COVID-19 pickup lines as Duke Nukem, including the audio effect to make it sound like it's coming from a 1997 video.
I like that.
Oh, that's one of the things that GOG put up for free, is the classic version of Shadow Warrior.
Oh.
Which I believe has John St. John as one of the villains, and it runs on Duke 3D's engine.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So they put up the non-remastered version of that for free, because there's been a remaster, there's been a remake and everything. But the original
John St. John, incidentally, the only person who has ever successfully gotten me to...
That didn't come through at all, AR.
Oh, I was saying John St. John's the only person who successfully got me to try tequila.
Now, did he do that with his Duke Nukem voice or his Big the Cat voice?
Neither. Thankfully, because neither would... Big the Cat would definitely not have worked.
Okay, you guys said yours. Mine was, right before this started, I ordered one of the last run of NT Minis, which is the very fancy Nintendo I already own.
Oh, I did make a dumb purchase.
Oh, what do you get?
Okay, so I'm gonna... I can't blame myself, because I'm obviously a blameless human being, so I'm actually gonna blame Duke for enabling me. So one of my holy grails for my Digimon collection is a D3 US version 3. And there was one on eBay which I was unsure was a version 3 or not. So I had to message Duke, and Duke had to message various people just to confirm, but it was a version 3. So yeah.
I'm glad that you put that. Okay, I'm glad you only had me mail a letter. That sounds like a lot more work.
Yeah. Although for my dumb purchase, I should point out, it's a slightly newer version of something I already own, and I already have someone offering me everything I spent on the new one for the old one when I get the new one.
Oh.
And I had that offer prior to me spending any money, which is part of what pushed me to go, fuck it, I'm ordering it.
Wait, why didn't they just buy a new one then?
They don't have the money on hand because of car repairs and other stuff.
Oh, okay.
So it's like if you decide to upgrade yours and you want to get rid of yours, I will buy it from you.
Oh, okay.
But people are already selling pre-orders for stupid amounts on eBay and everything, so it will not be hard even if the person drops out. Yeah, and Lost has just said that it's him.
Huh.
But yeah,
I would also...
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was going to finish your point. I was going to add something to mine.
Okay. Let's see. Then someone asked, with Adventure
go
ahead. Sorry,
I was gonna add on that I would point out that I don't usually make a whole bunch of dumb purchases. I do, like I said, I bought the memorial book, but also I haven't had any disruptions to my income since I can work from home, and my wife is both in an essential service and working from home, so we're fine on that end. So we don't really have dumb purchases.
That makes sense. Okay, then the next question was, with Adventure being back, could we get a port of the PSP game?
Nope.
I would say no.
I wouldn't say it's because of the new Adventure.
I would say, if based on when Survive comes out, and if another game's ready to go next year, and if it's still going at the time, I could see them going and throwing together a modern port of it.
I could see that if the PC sales are pretty good for Cyber Sleuth and Survive, that they could whip up a translation and throw it on Steam or something. I'm not as... Well, I wouldn't anticipate a console release, really.
See, but here's the thing. If they're putting together it for Steam, then they're putting together something that you could do for the Switch or the PS4 easily.
Switch or PS4, yeah.
Yeah.
But it would be like a really digital store only type thing.
Yeah.
That wouldn't get a whole lot of advertisement.
But the answer is no, but there is a but at the end, is the way I would put it. We kind of already answered the next one, which was how do we think the movie release will be handled now? That sort of just fit into what we were talking about before, so we'll see. Do we think Digivolving Spirits will come back?
I hope so.
I feel like we're closer to... What is that?
Oh, sorry, that was just me fiddling with something on my desk. Sorry, I meant to mute my microphone before I picked that up. Sorry.
We're closer to saying no for Digivolving Spirits than we are to saying yes, it could come back.
It's been a year, right?
Yeah, but the problem is they were doing the marketing for the movie, then the show stuff. Like, we're at the point where, like, stuff coming up are characters who theoretically could show up later in the show. And I could see, and you don't want to be throwing out Tamer stuff now. And some of the other ones could show up later in the show. So them holding them up is a possibility, but I would skew towards no.
I'd say we don't know by like the middle of the year. Like if
I would give it until like June, July before giving you a harder answer on that, because there's just so much else going on right now, and this is it's just such a back burner thing right now. Wait for it to there to be an opportunity to give it some attention.
But it also does prove the point that people buy War Greymon and Metal Garurumon above all. Because
I wish they'd stop.
Because here's the thing. If they were, like, from what we can tell, sales of all of them were reasonably okay to find. The first two sold great. And there's a reason why they always lead with those two. Because those two sell no matter what. Then someone asked, will the podcast images be changed to match the new site? The answer is yes. It just hasn't been done yet. Ramon wants to know, is it safe to order anything from Japan now? Just as safe as anywhere else?
Yeah.
What the fuck? When was it ever not safe?
I'm sure when the coronavirus was showing up there and wasn't in because I don't know where Ramon lives, but there was a point where many Latin and English countries didn't have any, and it may have been a concern at that point. But it is
coronavirus dies on services. It doesn't last that long. It'll be dead on the way.
It lasts on some things for like 3 days, and if you're getting something shipped, it could ship quickly.
Yeah, but I don't know. I feel like that's still.
But it's still a question to bring up.
I mean, the post is affected. Like there are delays in the post because everybody is buying instead of buying like at the shops, they're buying online. So there's like a strain to the postal system, at least in Australia. But it's safe.
Yeah, and then Cuddy wants to know, do you think we'll see cameos of the O2 kids in the new adventure? Yes, I do believe there'll be something. I don't think it's what a lot of people want. The show is not ending and then jumping 3 years to Adventure 02. There are functional reasons why they're doing a reboot, and that is that 02 exists. The way no, that's
I think it. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, that is not an insult to 02. That is that 02 set up specific things in the timeline, and there's only so much they can go back and do. With what 02 says.
Yeah.
So I don't think they're planning any jumping 3 or 4 years and then moving to new characters.
But also, you get to see new designs for Miyako.
Or if they did jump to new characters, that it would be the same ones.
Yes. But yeah, so. And Alan wants to know, do we think coronavirus will cause delays for the games or the anime? Well, we already have an anime delay. As for the game, Survive doesn't have a date, so they can sort of...
play around
so here's the thing. There's two things. One, there could be no delay, or there could be an issue and they were already gonna delay it, and then now they'll just say coronavirus.
It was always gonna come out in November.
Yeah, because here's the thing. We've seen the Digimon producers talk and stretch the truth a bit in the past, especially to give the answers fans want to hear. Because no fan wants to hear, oh, the game wasn't good enough, we're going to go another 6 months. But
actually, I like hearing that because
I do too.
But I mean, it worries fans when they hear that the game wasn't good enough. So instead, what they can say is, "Ooh, coronavirus." Ooh. As for the show, it's always possible because a lot of Toei stuff is done by Toei Philippines, and I believe the Philippines have been hit particularly hard.
Yeah, I recall there's always potential studio delays and stuff.
I feel like if there was an obvious delay coming, they would have pushed back the premiere. Because some shows have done that already. So we will see. It's hard to gauge past that. Like home video release in Japan could be delayed for the movie, but until it's announced.
I mean, meanwhile in Australia, things are breaking street date. Like, I think Persona came out a week early.
Here's the thing. People find stuff early. Like, people have already found Final Fantasy VII.
No, I mean, like, on purpose.
The
games,
actual official releases have been coming out earlier.
Yeah.
Okay, I was not aware of that. Okay.
No, that's a decision, but that's something that was already ready to go that they decided to release early for people who are stuck at home and they see a market there.
Or did they
that they released it like over a week early, I think. It was meant to release in a couple of days, but it released like on the 25th instead of the 31st.
Or did they decide to release
it? I wish they do that here.
Did they decide to release it early in case there were store closure orders? So they could get ahead of that.
They're still doing online orders and stuff, so I don't think that's a problem. Though I think that maybe I was just to get rid of in-store stock, because I know that people who made their orders online were still like if they made it delivery orders and not pickup orders, they still have to wait apparently or something. So maybe it's just to clear out in-store stock, because I know that.
I mean, I don't know what your situation is like. In here, video game stores were basically forced to shut down.
No, they're still open here for now.
I feel like we need to comment on that, because that was the stupidest fucking thing I ever saw.
Oh, it was. I'm just trying. I was trying to simplify the GameStop.
GameStop fucking just exploded, right?
Okay. There's multiple things with GameStop. The first is GameStop sent letters to their managers saying, print out these letters, and if the police try to close you down, show them the letter which says that we're an essential service. And it was just a letter from GameStop saying they're an essential service. It doesn't...
Jesus Christ.
That was the Ron Swanson, I can do what I want.
And then GameStop hadn't ordered supplies from any suppliers, so they're telling managers to go try to find cleaning supplies locally to wipe stuff down every half hour to stay open.
Good with that. We had to find an Ethernet cable to get my wife set up to work at home, and that was really difficult.
Yeah.
I can only imagine cleaning supplies.
Yeah. So GameStop eventually was just kind of forced shut. And there is some real question about what will reopen, because GameStop was fucked anyways.
Oh yeah.
Joe asked, do we think Kizuna will be released digitally first, like on a streaming platform similar to Onward for Disney? We sort of covered this, but here's the thing. Disney owns Onward, and nothing can, they were never going to...
it won't be a streaming thing. It would be maybe like what you said about possibility if they're really on the ball, but streaming...
Here's the thing.
I mean, the best bet would be Anime Lab, because...
Madfest
just had it. No, I'm just saying that, out of anything, it's very unlikely, but...
Well, no, what I mean is what I mean, May, is I don't expect Australia to get it, period.
I know, but I'm just saying that we already know that Madman have it because it was at Madfest, so it makes sense that the streaming platform that they own, that they often ship things off to fairly early, is probably the best bet. I'm not saying that it's 100% going to happen.
No. I mean Toei wouldn't let that happen in the case of Australia at all, because of how that affects everything else.
Yeah.
For quote unquote the whole world, it's like, here's the thing. Crunchyroll could go, well, we see an opportunity, but here's the thing. They would have to pay so much, it's not worth their effort. Movies that have their, like the Konosuba movie has Crunchyroll's name on it. And it was out last July in Japan. We got it in theaters in the US in October, and it's only starting to stream now. And that is that is a movie Crunchyroll has their own name on, because So The only way it happens is something like Toei was working on getting it licensed, and Netflix wanted it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's always the possibility of something out of left field, but realistically, no. In the case of Onward, that was kind of a unique, odd situation that movie was advertised, movie opened.
People were ready to see that movie,
and the movie,
the timing was just awful.
Because here's the thing: they're not going to re-release it; it's done. So at that point, you might as well get the good press and the sales while people still remember the advertising.
Yeah, get what you can for that.
Yeah.
While you can.
Like, all the movies happening now are all uniquely odd situations, and the biggest one was probably Onward. None of the, the biggest film happening is Trolls 2, and even that is maybe like a mid-tier big movie. It was not a big one. All the big ones have been kicked back. Bond, they kicked back to November, I think.
Yep.
Fast and Furious, they kicked back a whole year before they ever decided anything else because they weren't going to release it during this.
And all of these are potential minefields for Kizuna getting rescheduled as well.
Yeah. So it's the kind of situation where certain things really have uniquely happened because of this, but there's reasons to point to for all of those. In the case of Kizuna, the situation's so inherently different and odd that, I would never say never, but no. At least, realistically.
Yeah, I think you're more likely that it's going to be... They might try another theatrical release, but I would expect... I would not
100% be shocked if they went digital to purchase or rental and it was hard subbed.
Yeah.
For $20 or $30. I could see them doing that.
That I could see.
Because hard subbing, it takes care of the paranoia of it being, taken back to Japan.
Mm-hmm.
And most people don't notice the difference between hard sub and soft sub anyways.
Mm-hmm.
So that could be done.
And also, if you get the hard sub, you're more inclined to want to get the disc anyway.
True. I'd say in this case, it's even if it was soft sub because there is no English audio, regardless, in this case.
Yeah, that too.
Because I think if someone just is going to watch a Japanese movie, in most cases, they probably don't care if it's hard subbed as long as it's compressed correctly, which this would be.
Yeah.
The next question was, could the show eventually show video of all of us? Probably not.
Yeah, that's not a good idea.
Just because, it's not 100% worth the effort. Stuff, and more...
It's fucking 7 a.m. here. I'm not going to look anywhere decent, presentable.
Yeah. At some point, it's even the question of how much, it'd be one way to not do title cards, but realistically, no, it's just too much trouble.
I mean, you'd still have title cards over us, basically.
Over my face, hopefully.
Yeah. Also, I am constantly darting between screens. I am never looking. I'm very rarely looking at my camera.
Yeah, that's the other problem. It's like, one, AR and May do their own thing. Two, you have to remember, I'm doing 6 different things to keep the show running, so I don't think anyone will be super impressed by me not looking at the camera at all.
Well, same. I have 3 screens pulled up right now.
Oh, I do everything on one screen.
I use 3 screens. I use the phone and 2 monitors.
Yeah. Oh, I use my tablet to have the chat up because the live stream, because my computer can't handle both the audio feed and the video live stream.
Really?
Doing both of those at the same time, yeah.
Huh, that's weird. But yeah, so I just don't see that happening. I'm sure at some point we will experiment with it, but I don't see that being an actual thing we do ongoing.
It would have to be for a special occasion.
And this one I got, which just amused me. Why does Mark go to the effort? The person
that is amusing.
I wonder that too.
The person didn't clarify, but I assume they mean the effort for the site, the podcast, and so forth. I'm gonna let May and AR answer this one.
Oh, I don't know. I have
Makes
no
you
idea.
happy. I don't know. I'm asking the question too. What?
Yeah,
Because you enjoy it, I guess. Hopefully.
I sure as hell don't.
I enjoy it sometimes. it's realistically, it's probably mostly a combination of remembering how hard stuff used to be, not even just for Digimon, but for like anything to get information, and just trying to make it a little bit easier for other people.
Also, didn't you have like a podcast back like in the old days of With the Will, and someone fell asleep during it or something?
I know
Lost fell asleep during it.
Okay.
Which
I know that the With the Will podcast has existed before, because I think it's still at the top page of McFeely's Digimon Encyclopedia, a reference to it.
Yeah, we were. Although I don't believe that was officially the With the Will podcast. I think that was just us doing a show, not specifically a Digimon one. Yes, we're talking about something, and we all realized we were having a long form conversation about something. Like the show was 2-3 hours, something long, because whatever conversation we were having was long, and we all realized Lost hasn't spoken in a while, so we all be quiet, and we kind of hear,
aww,
like, and it's like he literally has, like, because as I recall, he would record laying down on the couch.
Oh, that's a problem. I could not do that. I haven't taken my medication yet. I could not do that. That's dangerous.
But yeah. So that happened. But yeah, it's effectively just make things a bit easier for people and do what I can with some of my time. And then when I eventually quit, May will have to deal with it.
Yay!
I once jokingly threatened Onke with that I will just quit one day and say she's in charge, and she said, "Oh, people won't like me in charge. I would just put up what I want to talk about and nothing else."
I'd kind of look forward to that, to be honest.
I'd like Onke in charge. Can we
No. I mean, in the sense of doing the news, she would just put up the one or two things that interest her and not the actual news, is what she meant.
Yeah, I'd be okay with that.
I'd be okay with that. I like Onke.
Yeah, I trust her. I trust her I trust her sensibilities about that.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm giving it to Onke when I quit then. I'm sure she will be very happy to hear this, since I do not believe she's here right now, which makes it all the funnier.
It'll be news for her.
Yeah, and it'll be presented
which she won't post.
It'll be presented as AR and May said Onke should run With the Will.
Yeah, it's the elections.
Onke has been voluntold into the position.
Yes.
She's been drafted into the...
I don't think we'll give them a chance to throw in any more questions, and then we will call it.
You said you were going to give them a chance, or you were not going to give them a chance?
We'll give them a chance.
Oh. Okay, I heard not.
I heard not, and I was excited. Like, are we going to be done in 2 hours? Sweet.
Yeah, I want breakfast and medication.
I've had a very long week, which ends once the podcast is up, and then I'm fucking done for a while. Very long week.
I should try to clean the place, because everyone's like, oh, I've got some free time and I'm stuck in the house, so it's like opportunity to do a deep clean, and I'm like, I don't have more free time, and I really need to do a deep clean, so I'm kind of I'm jealous of everyone who has all extra free time until I realize why they have extra free time.
I realized that too, and I was just like, hey, everyone's talking about all this free time, like, oh, right.
No,
my
week.
Unfortunately, I'm still employed.
There's a cost of that.
My week has been the work for the site, actual work, making sure the podcast gets put together, various other issues which I won't get into, but long fucking week. Looks like no questions. So AR, where can they find you?
Digimon.firstagent.net is where I'm doing my currently Appmon review. Obviously did not have a Kizuna review Thursday because of the obvious reasons. Also on Twitter, First Agent ARP, and fanfiction.net and AO3 is AR Pulver. Nexus World has started up again, so everyone check that out.
Okay. May, where can they find you?
Lost in Translation on basically everything. I do have a Kizuna thoughts. I have both a spoilerless one and a spoiler one. Blog post on Lost in Translation Mon's website. I'm fairly brutal of it in both of them, but as I said, if you don't want spoilers, there's a spoiler-less version for you to read if you want my no spoiler thoughts.
I don't know
And
why.
Mark is dying.
I just find it. I mean, like, don't get me wrong. I understand it's the novel. It seems so bad to have like. Here are my thoughts on this thing I haven't seen, and I don't get me wrong. I do it
You can
too.
give thoughts on the novel.
No,
Yeah,
I know
read
it
the
just.
novel.
No. I 100% know that. But anytime I hear Kizuna, my mind jumps to movie. So even though I know it's the novel, it in my head it's like she's talking about a movie she hasn't seen, even though I know that's not what you're talking about.
I mean, are you referring to your review of the novel, or are you referring to this is what the movie look like?
It says novel review.
No, I know it does. I skimmed through it. It's just anytime I see the link, I don't see novel there.
Yeah.
Like my brain jumps over it.
Yeah.
And you can find me at With the Will as, hey, look, we're at With the Will, so that makes it easy. We will catch you guys next time. Based on the show, we very well may do an episode in 2 weeks and maybe skip the news and just go over episode 1 or 1 and 2 of the show based on what happens. So we will.
Yeah. How deeply I'm covering the reboot depends very heavily on what I think I'm actually seeing.
But like that's the thing is if we get the reboot next Saturday, for example, then the Saturday after we may do a show before episode 2. But if we don't
get me wrong, I will find a way to find a live stream. But
I'm not, because all the live streams are fucking horrible.
They are, but it's like if it gets me a peek at it, then
we already
I did it a lot for Atmon, and it was.
I hope we get what we got from Atmon, which is
why would you have done it for Atmon? We got streams like 10 minutes later.
It was great. I loved it.
I like doing it live, and I would do the live if I.
No, I mean they put it up for free worldwide like 10 minutes after it aired.
It was
on the website.
Yeah,
it took a lot longer.
It was maybe an hour or so, but it was like really quick.
It was.
I know it was always up in the morning.
Yeah, it was super fast.
Because
I remember it being a lot longer. Yeah.
I think there was one time it took a day or so, but it was like really quickly. Yeah. And I already have not confirmation, but information they may be throwing it up pretty quickly for this one also.
And I'm excited because
we will see.
My Japanese is better than it was for Atmon, so I'll be able to
mine too,
enjoy it. I'm excited.
So we will catch everyone later. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.